Thank you so much for that introduction, Dave. I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to teach everybody some really key things that, I've learned to, propel my life to the next level, to become an authority in my field. And it's not as difficult as most people think. So I'm excited to get into this, and without further ado, we're just going to hop right in. So here's what you're going to actually learn in this free webinar. You're going to learn where to start in branding your authority. So we're going to give you the foundation. You're also going to learn why people are not buying from you. This is very important for all of you professionals that are driven by sales. Why you should never have to compete in your market. We listen to a lot of people and it's all about competition and having that competitive edge, but we're going to show you why you never have to compete in your market again. Another thing we're going to show you is what makes an authority an authority. We're going to go over how to establish an authority mindset, which is very important, and how to dominate in your industry. Again, dominate does not mean compete, and you're going to understand why as we go further along. You're also going to learn how to leverage social media to build your authority. So many of you are probably asking yourself that are listening, what is the first step? So let's get into step number one. Step number one is you must have a vision, okay? In other words, you can't wing it. And what I mean by winging it is you have to have a design blueprint for where you want to go. So you have to have an idea of where you're going and where you want to be in your business. So this is something that you really have to think about. And one of the things you really want to get down before you actually go into becoming an authority in your marketplace. So what exactly is a vision? Because I know many of you are asking yourself that question, and I'm telling you, it's nothing magical that you're probably thinking, because when you think of vision, sometimes you may have that particular thought process. So very, very simple. A vision is a clear mental and physical manifestation of your future based on your goals and aspirations. All right. So having a vision allows you to spend your time and energy focusing only on the things that pull you directly towards your goals. And this is a big thing because many people are caught with a lot of confusion. They lack focus and they're all over the place, and they can be very overwhelmed. So a vision allows you to really focus on what's important to you, what your mission is. So keep in mind that having a vision is very important, and you want to begin with the end in mind. So I want you to sit there and imagine right now, what does your perfect day look like? Who are you with? What colors are you wearing? What's the smell in the atmosphere? What kind of car are you driving? What does your office look like? Think about all these things, okay? And I want you to think long-term instead of instant gratification. We live in a society today where it's basically primarily focused on, I want it now, I need it now. And when you're trying to be successful in your marketplace, that's just not the way that's just not how things work. So I want you to think long-term. Also, I want you to think who, what, how, and why. This goes back to your vision. Who are you with? Who are you serving? What are you doing? How are you doing it, and why are you doing it? What's your definitive reason for why you're doing what you do? Okay? And the last question I want you to ask is, how do you see yourself helping other people? All right? Because when you're an authority in your field, it's about service. It's about serving others. All the other things will come, but you really need to focus on what value you're going to add to other people. All right? So that's step one. Step two is the glory is in your story. This is a very, very important piece, and many people miss this particular section. All right? So I want you to understand before we go any more forward, there's no greater force in your business than the power of your experience. What do I mean? Okay? People do business with people they connect with. All right? One thing about your story is what connects you to other people. It's what makes you relatable. It's what people look at and say, you know what? He's been through this particular situation and he's come out of it. So I can actually do it too. This is what engages people with your story. This is what engages people with your job, what you're doing, and the value you add to other people, the value you add to society. So having a story is very, very important because your market has to believe that you are a credible source, and nothing makes you more credible than your story. So keep that in mind. That is very, very important, because when you have a unique story or experience that engages your audience in a way that connects with them, and drives them to do business with you, you do not have to compete with anyone. And if you noticed before in the beginning, I said we're going to talk about why you don't have to compete. You are the expert of your experience. Your story is unique. Nobody shares your story. There may be similar experience, but nobody shares your unique story. This is your secret weapon. This is the power that you have to become an authority in your marketplace. So the only thing you would be competing with is yourself. You're not competing with anyone else. So crafting your story and really getting people to understand, where you've been and where you're going is really going to have them engage and connect with you. So this is very, very important. I can't stress that enough. Number 3, now that we have the vision down and understanding that the importance is in your story for number 2, let's go to number 3. Number 3 is you have to identify the big problem. And this is a step that many people miss as well. You're so focused on sales, you're so focused on making money, but you're missing the very, very big picture. And that's identifying the big problem. So here's the $1 million questions, all right? 1, what keeps your market up at night? What are they worried about? What's affecting their family life? What's affecting their relationships? What's affecting their financial situation? What is really keeping them constantly stressed? Ask yourself that question. What's it costing them? I mean, what's the financial price? Not only just financial, what is it costing them emotionally? What is it costing them mentally? And can your business help them? So these are the $2 million questions that you really have to ask yourself. If you answer these questions effectively and you have a solution, then you're one step ahead of the game, because this is going to change everything for your business. And number 4, now you got to find the transformational solution. So you've gone through the vision, you have your story, okay, and then you're in number 3. So now number 4 is the transformational solution. What do I mean by transformational? You can't provide a band-aid solution for your market. What do I mean by a band-aid solution? What I mean is you can't put a band-aid on a flesh wound. These people are hurting. These people are stressing out every single day. They're up at night. Their homes may be in turmoil because it's one situation or one circumstance that they can't solve, that your business provides that solution. Okay? So you need to see, how does my solution not only provide help for them right now, but how does it provide a solution later, well into their many years? So you don't want to just provide a solution that's just going to be temporary. You want to provide something that's transformational, that they can carry throughout the rest of their life, that they can tell their friends about, that they can rant and rave to everyone about and say, hey, this particular person that provided this service, not only did they help me now, here's the outside benefits that I'm reaping based on this one particular solution. That's what I mean by transformational. It's going to cover different aspects, and you're going to see it filter in different aspects of that person's life. So let go of the band-aid solution and think transformation. Okay, so your solution should be transformational. Your service, your product should provide the exact results that your client is looking for. So let's talk about that for a second. This really, really requires you to listen to your client or to your prospect. This is what's going to separate you from everybody else in your market, because a lot of people don't understand that listening is a very, very developed skill. Oftentimes your client and your market is telling you exactly what you want. Well, exactly what they want, So you have to really pay attention to what they're telling you, whether it's body language, whether it's what they're speaking, whether it's you doing research on Google or demographics. Your market is going to tell you exactly what their pain point is and exactly what you can do to solve it. All right? And it should produce an ongoing benefit, like I said before. That's the transformational piece. It's not just a one and done. You're not just offering them a service and they're saying, hey, thank you very much. And they go about their business, you go about their business, you have a commission or you've been paid for your service, and that's it. No, you want to provide an ongoing benefit. You want them talking about you for weeks, for months, for years to come, because what you provided them was so transformational. It not only affected them, but it affected their spouses, it affected their children, it affected their business, their mental health, so many different aspects of their life. You want it to be transformational. And with that, I'm going to leave it right here to my buddy Dave Simons. He's going to come right in. He's going to pick up where I left off, and he's going to give you more great value. I hope you guys got value out of the first part of the webinar. Okay, I'm going to get right out of the way and going to bring it over to you, Dave.